This river is a way of life for our people. Our community are mostly pastoralists, so they rely on this river. This river used to run for 10 months, but now the river is running only 2 months. That is 60. Can you imagine, from 300 to 60 days?
Stakeholders drawn from relevant national government ministries and departments, county governments, civil society organizations and private sectors gathered at Samburu Lodge to identify lasting solutions to water challenges in the Mount Kenya and Ewaso Ngiro ecosystem.
As Impact, we were the convener of the meeting, and our work was to mobilize people to come, the stakeholders and the county government to come together to the stakeholders meeting.
With pollution and an increasing human population, agricultural expansion, infrastructure development, and climate change, among other issues, conflicts are emerging along the river from the highlands of Mount Kenya down to Lorian Swamp in the north.
Conflicts drivers are many. One of them is resources. Ewaso Ngiro is one of the resources which is used and required by people upstream and downstream. Upstream could be farmers, and downstream is mainly pastoralists.
We are also here to actually give the trends of conflict along the communities living along the river, and also looking at the drivers and seeing resolution mechanisms.
I think I want to recommend one.
It is very important for us as leaders from executive, from the county assemblies and NGOs to sit down and see how we can conserve this water so that we reduce conflicts. So our main target is to reduce conflict and to preserve our environment, because also here we have natural resources, we have wildlife.
Water users, including communities, livestock, wildlife and public sector, and corporate companies, both upstream and downstream, lack a shared understanding of the threats facing the river basin and fail to effectively mediate and collaborate around integrated water resources management.
Most of the budgets are located on water supply, and very little goes towards water resources management. When you talk about decision making, some of the times decisions are made without regard for all the stakeholders. So sometimes some are left out. And as Wetlands International, we're looking at systems thinking with the landscape. And we're looking at the landscape, we're looking at all the stakeholders that are within the landscape.
The discussions that we've had about the counties working together, and again also working with the local leaders in issues of conflict. I think the dialogue that has happened here has really emphasized that as much as we want to work with the local communities, we really need the support and the full support from the leaders. And I think that is very important even in our thinking and our approach.
We are in the process of developing a sand harvesting bill, because at the moment we have uncontrolled exploitation of sand, especially in the lowlands, Archers Post and its environs. We're coming up with that bill so that we can regulate the use of sand, the collection of sand from either the group ranches, from the river basin, so that we don't overexploit it. And this will go a long way in protecting the ecosystem of the river. We know there are other people downstream, and we don't want to exhaust all that is needed to ensure that water runs in a good way.
Agriculturalists, pastoralists will be able to maximize their efforts in making sure that they also get water, they get food security, and food security does not mean that it's only crop production. Even livestock still a food security aspect. So all of us need to share this resource, because it's an important resource. And the upstream users should also consider the downstream users, because they equally need food security. They also want water security, and we also want peace among ourselves, because water crisis can also result to conflict. Therefore, that is why we are coming with these counties, and as deputy governors, we are leading the mandate of the county governments, representing our governors, because the governors are also in this. But because we are also doing the same mandate given to the governors by the law, there is commitments from the county governments that we draw up a roadmap so that we are able to utilize this resource without exhausting the resources that God has given us, and from the source to the end, that's Lorenzo, all of us have to benefit.
To address these challenges, there is need for urgent measures to promote sustainable governance and management of the same resources, and indeed create shared value over water resources.